Сегодня у нас в гостях Дрю Дэвис с артишоками. Chef, welcome, thank you, and please go ahead.
Thank you. So today we're going to be working on cooking an artichoke. I like to use a tall pot because usually the artichoke has a stem on the bottom, and basically what you do is take a serrated knife and just cut off the last couple of centimeters from the stem until you can fit it into the pot like this. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the top parts of these leaves off. And again, you're just looking for a couple of centimeters here. There you go. You can see the sort of white part where it all comes together. You put it in upside down like this. Fill it about up a third of the way of water and put it on the stove. But the hardest part of eating a artichoke, the hardest part of cooking an artichoke is actually eating it. So basically what you do is you want to have a small bowl, some not expensive olive oil. So in this case it's basil flavored. You definitely don't want to use extra virgin olive oil because extra virgin olive oil has a bitter taste, and artichoke also has a bitter taste, so that's not a good idea. And I like to put a couple of turns of fresh ground pepper in my sauce. The other thing that's really important is having a bowl to discard all of these leaves from the artichoke, and this is going to fill up quickly as you eat it. The other thing is that I'm modeling my worst shirt. And I actually wear the shirt whenever I eat an artichoke because when you're dipping the leaves into the olive oil, inevitably a few drops get on the shirt, so you don't want to ruin a good shirt that way. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes when we're ready to pull the artichoke off.
Возвращаемся к нашему повару Дрю Дэвису. Chef, please continue.
Howdy, Devichki. The artichoke is almost done, but first we're going to take a quick tour of the family laundry room art gallery. This is something that has never ever been seen before, so you're in for a special treat. Come this way. This is the laundry area. Here you see several art projects that we've done at the local museum. This is from the Habsburg exhibition. This is a gallery drawing, which happens to be my favorite because it seems to sort of have the same energy as the washing machine. This is another gallery drawing of some Indians. This is from the Rothko exhibition. That's mine, and that's Mason's. And right now we're going to get back to the artichoke.
Hello, I'm Mason, and I'm the security guard of the artwork.
So, here we have what the original artichoke looked like. You can tell that it is sort of a bright greenish color, and when the artichoke is done, it has more of a gray look to it. The way that you can know if an artichoke is done, and this is where we're really missing the stem, is you take a fork and you try to stick it in all the way through. So because it went in so far, then we know it's done. And what I like to do typically is come in here where the stem normally would be and make sure that it goes all the way through. Some people in the artichoke world might argue that this is overdone, and probably they're right because I really don't know what I'm doing. But the reason that I like I really like it to be so done is because if it's completely done, then you can eat the stem. If it's too raw, then the stem's kind of inedible and you have to throw it away. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the table after we wait for this to cool off, and we're going to talk about how to eat the artichoke.
Нашему шефу последняя часть презентации.
Howdy, Devichki. So the artichoke is done, and we've gone ahead and poured a wit beer. This is Wittekerke from Belgium, and I think that wit beer pairs really well with the artichoke because the artichoke is bitter, and this blonde beer is really smooth and I think is a good complement. So the way that you eat the artichoke is that you take the outside leaves, the ones that are closest to the stem, and they're not very good for anything, so you just take those off and throw them out. So here we go. And then what you want to do is, as you get closer to the body of the artichoke, you're going to see that there's some meat right here towards the bottom. So I've had a change of heart, and I'm going to go with the olive oil that's chili flavored. And you just dip it in at the very bottom part, and then pull it off with the top of your teeth. Very good. And basically, you go through the artichoke like that until you get to the more purple colored and part of the leaves, and you get into the hairs, which you definitely don't want to eat. So we're going to go ahead and take care of some of these leaves and pick it up again when we get down to the part that we're going to have to scoop out with this small fork.
И последний эпизод.
Howdy, Devachki. So I'm afraid you've reached me at a crisis, almost out of artichoke here. So we're finally down to, we've taken out all of the leaves. You can see that these leaves are very thin and also are very purple. One of the things that you'll notice is that as we get to the bottom here, the leaves get to have this sharp point on them. That's when there isn't really much meat to pull off of the leaves anymore. So what we're left with is this, the disgusting hairy part of the artichoke. There may be a better way to do this, and if there is, somebody please let Luba know so that she can tell me. But what I've been doing is you take the smallest fork you have. You definitely don't want to use like a crab fork or something obnoxiously small, but just like a regular small fork. And you come in here and try to pull this hair out. And it's worth the effort because the artichoke part is the best part. So you just pull this hair. You can see that it takes a little while for it to come out. So there we go. There we have the artichoke part. And from here you can take it, dip it in the olive oil, and delicious.
Well, thank you so much, Chef. We really appreciate your time and your expertise.
So, Devachki, that is how you eat an artichoke. The best part is that cleanup is completely easy. You just walk away from the table and it's magically cleaned up all by itself. No, seriously, it's pretty easy. Voila. So that's it. That ends our artichoke adventure. Happy cooking and good night.